Alright guys, so today I thought I'd discuss a hot topic, official hardcore servers. I think everyone will have a different opinion as to whether they'll be good, but I feel some things need to be discussed. I'm very intrigued to see whether we'll get the revive token or not, and whether the servers will be successful. However, before we get into it, a word from today's sponsor. Is your browser destroying your PC like Deathwing destroyed Azeroth? Today's sponsor is Opera GX, the best browser for gamers. The GX control panel allows you to limit the CPU and RAM of the browser. This allows you to browse the internet and not lag in-game. Amazing, but wait, there's more. There's even mods, like this medieval mod. You get a plus 10 strength increase if you use this. With GX mods, you can spice it up entirely, from wallpapers to music, to browser and keyboard sounds. You can personalize it and make it a unique experience. Changing to Opera GX is like going from level 1 to 60 in a matter of seconds. There's an import tool that brings all settings from your previous browser, making the transition seamless. It even has every Google Chrome extension. So, if you want more control over your computer and less lag in games, Opera GX is waiting for you. And it could mean the difference between life and death. In game, obviously. Be sure to click the link down below to try it out. Massive thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. So, I'm sure you've heard the jokes about revive tokens by now. It isn't too far-fetched, and could easily be a move Blizzard pulls given their track record. Will they actually do it though? I think they will, but probably not how you imagine it. After you die, I can see them giving you the option to pay to transfer your character to Classic Era, which revives you in the process. So then, the worst case scenario is, if you die on a hardcore server, you just have to pay to revive by transferring it to a normal server, which is essentially a revive token. But obviously, you won't be able to continue on the hardcore server. This is something I can definitely see them doing, and it will be very interesting to see if they do, as this is a very easy moneymaker, because a lot of people won't want to delete their characters and will pay to keep them. When it comes to other microtransactions, I'm not too sure. If we entertain the idea, it would be funny to see them make people pay for entry to the servers with a shared bank for your alts in the item shop, or a hardcore beginners pack which gives you 4 16-slot bags and a bunch of health potions. One thing I found in Diablo 4's hardcore mode was a potion called Elixir of Death Evasion. For those that don't know, this potion lasts 30 minutes, prevents death, and makes you immune for 2 seconds, which is massively OP. I personally think this potion shouldn't be in Diablo, and I don't want to see it on official hardcore servers either, as I think it makes a mockery of the game mode. I'm uncertain as to whether they've entertained this idea or not. I mean, it's Blizzard after all, so I feel the need to include this in the video, just in case they have a wild idea to implement this into the official hardcore servers. I think this would be a terrible idea, as everyone would just stack these potions and never die. Plus, Blizzard can't make money off of revive transfers if no one dies. Now, it's looking a lot like there'll be zero restrictions. The only rule being, if you die, you can't revive. I think, all in all, it will be a very interesting social experiment to see what people actually do on these servers. I've speculated a lot with people, and I firmly believe that if there's no rules, people will just go wild. We've seen what Classic has been like over the last few years, so I can vividly imagine people buying gold, then buying boosts to 60 and more. The popular rebuttal to this is the fact that people can die at any moment, so who cares? However, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. If you can just buy boosts to 60, then that's no challenge at all, is it? And then you have people twinking out level 1 characters and more. If you have enough gold, you can just constantly feed gear to your alts. So then, anything you find legitimately is pretty meaningless. What I enjoy about the hardcore journey is earning things myself, but I know that with no restrictions, there'll be a lot of people just treating it like a regular error server, with the only downside being, if you die, well, you're dead. Hardcore only reached insane levels of popularity through content creators playing the Iron Man solo self-found rule set. Many people believe that by going against this and changing what made hardcore popular is a bad move, and could result in the death of hardcore after a certain amount of time. In a perfect world where Blizzard has the brain and the resources, I would say they should make 2 separate servers. One where there's no restrictions, and another with Iron Man solo self-found as an option. By doing this, you separate the 2 groups that clearly want 2 different things, and then they won't be annoyed with each other for not playing by their chosen rule set. However, I strongly doubt this will ever happen, so expect conflict between these 2 groups on official servers. Now, the next big thing, griefers. If Blizzard wants to tackle griefing, then a surefire way of dealing with it is to permanently disable PvP on official hardcore servers. Sure, it doesn't get rid of griefing entirely, but disabling PvP definitely fixes the worst of it. People won't be able to flag each other, so it'll be much better than what it is currently on the unofficial realms. One thing to bear in mind is that the official servers will have no appeals. There will be no way of appealing your character's death and continuing. This will upset a lot of people, but that's what hardcore is. Once you die, that's it. Unless Blizzard does decide to add a transfer revive, then you'll have to suck it up and pay for it, or just make a new character. The most annoying way to die, aside from grief, is by disconnect or power cut. It's infuriating to die to things in hardcore that are out of your control, and this will be a very common cause of death on official hardcore servers. You best believe there will be a lot of outrage and crying on the forums as a result of these kinds of deaths, with people saying Blizzard should have appeals. The problem is, if Blizzard chooses to add disconnect protection, it would just be majorly abused by players. So all in all, if you're planning to play these servers, you better have a solid internet connection, otherwise you're destined for disaster. Petrification Flask. I can see why people have a problem with these flasks. It's essentially the same as Diablo 4's new elixir, and should probably be removed from hardcore. They're pretty difficult to craft. Farming all of those Black Lotus will be a serious pain. However, I think they shouldn't be in hardcore. Now let's talk about RMT. If there's a way to trade or a way to send mail, then that pretty much guarantees people will RMT. We've seen it all throughout Classic. I've thought about this a lot, and I've come to the conclusion, if people want to ruin their own experience by buying gold, then that's their choice. At the end of the day, it's hardcore, and if you're bad enough to get your credit card out and swipe for gold, then you're surely going to die to something stupid. So if people want to spend stupid amounts of money on hardcore gold just to have their characters die in ridiculous ways, then I say keep flushing that money down the drain. I think that just about covers all my thoughts on the subject. So, will hardcore servers be good? Time will tell. They're a definitive win for the hardcore community. I'm not sure whether they'll maintain a massive long-term population, but to many, it will be something fun to play for a while. As I said, I think it'll be an interesting social experiment for the Classic WoW community, and we'll have to see what exactly happens when we eventually get the PTR in 10 years' time. Thanks for watching, leave your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys again soon.